The film Get Out is a critically agreed upon masterpiece, and once viewing it, you can really understand why. The amount of thought put behind this project is apparent, especially once you take a closer look at the extensive amount of symbolism in this film. And not only that, how it's translated into every shot. It truly pushes the genre of social horror cinema. So, if you're unfamiliar with the film, I highly suggest you watch it, but just a quick synopsis is that our protagonist, Chris, a young black photographer, goes back to his girlfriend, Rose, hometown, upstate, to meet her parents, Missy and Dean. The weekend quickly spirals from an initial awkward interaction, which we mostly assume is because of their interracial relationship. It then escalates to rampant microaggressions as we see throughout the film and the dinner.
I voted for Obama for a third term if I could.
Oh, not bad. So, is it true? Is it better?
Wow.
Black is in fashion.
Eventually becoming something drastically more sinister. As the viewers, we're given a look into the horrors of this procedure, and the concept itself can be seen as a metaphor in the literal consumption and the desire to possess blackness by white America. Now, this metaphor can be pushed even further once you begin to analyze the compositions of these shots and Peely's choice of framing. So before that, we should also keep in mind that in directing, it's basically common practice to have a shot and then the one directly after it be connected and, ultimately used to indirectly clarify relationships, plots, and things of that nature. So with that in mind, let's look at these scenes. By focusing on the frames and shots, we can see the themes of consumption and blackness are heavily paired with the literal eating of food. This can be seen as a tool to help reinforce one of the most critical concepts of the movie to the audience. It ultimately serves as a literal illustration of the metaphor, and is shown numerously throughout the films.
You an MMA fan? With your frame and your genetic makeup, if you really pushed your body, and really trained, no pussyfooting around, you'd be a fucking beast.
Carrot cake.
Ooh.
Hi. Carrot cake.
If we look at one of the first scenes in the beginning of the film, our first look at Rose is shown at the bakery, with her looking at all her options, delighted, then immediately cuts to Chris, putting on shaving cream on his face. Once Rose finally chooses a donut, Chris cuts himself, this also serving as a warning in the future events, a little foreshadowing. In this scene, ultimately, Rose's surveying of her options and then choosing an object of consumption is put in direct parallels to Chris, and also him cutting himself, making the whole message very apparent. Another scene where this occurs is near the end, once Rose's true intentions are revealed. Now, with her identity clear, the juxtaposition is also much more apparent, as her consumption is paired side by side with her Googling top NCAA prospects, making it obvious she's preparing for her next target. And just a little side note on this moment, for separating the cereal and the milk, because it is so thoroughly done, it's a moment that shows so many things. It serves not only as an opportunity for her new characterization, the calculated sociopath, but by demonstrating the behavior, but it also pushes the metaphor as her separating the cereal and milk can serve to show that she's separating the whites from the colors, and continues to push this overall theme of consumption of blackness and food, while also showing the perceptions on race within her. So it's really layered, but what truly cements this symbolism is the moment where the camera holds on her composed demeanor, with her drinking her milk separately, and all her past black victims in the back hung on the wall, not only emphasizing the devastation she's caused, but also the separation between them, much like her meal. This truly solidifies the symbolism between food, drinks, consumption, and the ownership, control, and overall consumption over black bodies. So with all this being said, it is clear that the white character's relations to food can be interpreted as their relation to black people and black culture, that they, much like their meals, are a given right, meant to be consumed at their will and disposed with no regard on what the impact might be. And in these ways, Get Out perfectly melds racial satire and horror in such a novel yet poignant way. It really mirrors modern day society and is just unlike any film seen before. And hopefully next time you see this film, you could pick on these masterful details and really appreciate the effort, the time, and how thoroughly well thought a lot of these scenes were.
Let's do it, Chris.
Mind his head, please. Now you're in the sunken place.